Hello, hello, and thank you for stopping by. It's been a little while, so I thought at the very least I should pop in and let you know what's been happening behind the scenes and tell you what's to come as well. Um, if I'm being honest, I think with the last winter and Christmas, pre Christmas, post Christmas blues, that was a real thing for me this time around. This being the first Christmas in a pandemic. Um, yes, it's a real thing. And I did notice a slight shift. I mean, nothing major, nothing for you to get worried about. Um, but yeah, there were days when it was hard or harder to get out of bed. I'm somebody who loves my sleep, some of you may know. And yeah, so those winter nights did drag on for a bit longer than I wanted. And maybe things just seemed a little bit more of an effort to have to do or bring into being or mustering up the energy where it was automatic before was just that bit harder. But I guess I wasn't alone. I guess what it also showed me is that mental health is a real thing. So far I've been discussing a lot about physical health, I guess, because that's something that I have suffered with in the past, endometriosis. But mental health is not to be discounted. In fact, it all starts there before, the physical sometimes starts to manifest. So more about that later. But all is well. All is well. Thank God. It is now spring ish. But again, some of you will know that I do other things creatively. So I also do some acting. I work as a supporting artist. In some quarters, we are known as extras, film extras, TV extras, or background artists, one and the same thing. And I've just finished a really exciting filming project, which was down in Cornwall. So I had to travel down and I was out there for a few weeks and it was amazing, absolutely amazing. And I actually managed to top up on my tan. Can you see? It was fantastic. The weather was very up and down, very temperamental. It was raining, it was cold, it was very sunny, it was very windy, and this was all just in one day. But Cornwall is absolutely delightful. If you haven't been before, I will thoroughly recommend if you get a chance to go down and check it out. And unfortunately, I just got so consumed with everything I was doing, I didn't actually get a chance to do a small video like I normally would, just to give you guys a snippet. But I took quite a few photos, so watch out for those on my social media. But yes, enough about that. So back to business. I have been working on some content behind the scenes, and I can't wait to share them with you. They just need some tweaking and some light editing, and then I can put them all out there. And one of them is to do with natural remedies. So on one or some of my videos, I may have talked about my discovery of natural remedies. Of course, I went through the mill with my health in that I had the surgery and went through all the joys of having operations and then suffering complications. And at the end of all of that, only to be told when the pain came back with a vengeance, only to be told that there's no cure for the condition. So that meant I was to manage the pain for the rest of my life, relying on painkillers, very strong painkillers at that. And I decided no. And that started me off on another journey, if you like. And that was how, purely through serendipity, that I came across this wonderful lady by the name of Claire who does flower remedies. She describes herself as a flower essence specialist, among others. To me, she's now my medical guru. So whenever there's anything going on, I also happen to suffer with hay fever, for instance. So she's the first person that I'll go to. I stopped taking medication that you get over the counter a long time ago. And so you can imagine my glee when I managed to twist her arm into speaking with me. And I managed to interview her. And I didn't have to twist her arm, really. She's lovely. She was more than happy to oblige. But yes, I was able to talk to her one-on-one, and she was able to share what she does, how she does it, how long she's been doing it for. And yeah, I can't wait to share all that information with you, you know, who she is and her contact details, etc., for those of you who may wish to pursue that route. As I said, it worked for me, and you know, it's something that I was more than happy to share with you guys. So the big reveal will be coming out very soon. Watch out for that video. I've also been talking to, I mean, I generally tend to do this. I love to hear people's stories, and I guess I'm fortunate in that the work I do, the acting and other bits and pieces, allows me to meet a whole myriad of personalities, different, you know, people with different stories. And we all have a story. We all have a story, even you. Whether you choose to conceal, whether you choose to reveal, is up to you. But we all have a story. And it turns out that she suffers with fibroids, quite terribly, actually. And so we got chatting, and I just, again, you know, shared my story with her, and she was blown away when I told her, you know, the highs, the lows, and how I managed to come through it. And it's rather interesting because I also suffered with fibroids. I may have mentioned that in one of my previous videos, but it's not something that I've highlighted simply because the endometriosis overtook everything. It's just such an all-consuming condition. But the fibroids are pretty bad too. They caused very, very heavy bleeding around the time of my periods, cramps, etc., etc. And she was very gracious. She looked at, you know, one of my videos, and she was very complimentary and said that, you know, she really loved the content and loved the style, and that I should do something on fibroids. And I think it's a great idea. I think it's a fantastic idea, but it got me thinking even further. And what I thought would be nice for a change is to maybe have a group discussion with some other ladies who are suffering with, you know, that condition, for maybe 5, 6 women, where we can all discuss health matters. So, you know, how you're coping on a day to day with, be it fibroids, be it endometriosis, for instance, what you're doing to, you know, try and get yourself on the straight and narrow, and what kind of help or support you might need, topics like that. And yeah, I just wanted to put it out there. So if you have any comments, do feel free to get in touch, you know, share, like as usual. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. But it'll be great to get some feedback from you in terms of how you may like that to look, what sort of topics or information you might like to see us share in that video. By all means, I would love to hear what you have to say, and we'll try and put something together and bring it right to you. What else? There's been so much going on behind the scenes. Oh, also, I became a book author. So I am part of, there's a group, a women's group that I'm part of called Evolve Navigating Life. And it's part of the women's ministry at my church, ICANN Community Church. And Evolve has been going since before the pandemic. So prior to lockdown, we used to meet in person, you know, in a hotel on a Saturday. And it was every month, every quarter. I honestly can't remember. And would meet over brunch, and there'll be, you know, an opportunity to just grow and, yeah, develop spiritually, professionally, personally, on so many different levels. And so obviously once lockdown hit, we had to take it onto an online platform, and Zoom became the go-to, I guess, by choice. But it allowed the movement to grow even more, and we have probably trebled our numbers even more. And we meet every Saturday. So we went from meeting, like I said, once a month or even once a quarter to every single Saturday. And it's almost become a religion, because it's just been so pivotal in helping women to connect, to share, to grow, and to just be able to communicate, to have somewhere you can air and just be. And out of that came an anthology series, which was, as opposed to us conversing and listening to people talk and, you know, writing notes, the organizer, the lady who actually puts it all together, came up with the idea one day and said, well, why don't we write a book about our experiences, about how we've managed to navigate life through a difficult period in our lives, and write about it. But the key criteria had to be how you came out of it. So we didn't want it to end on a, like a cliffhanger type situation, but to leave something encouraging with the reader as to how you may go through ups and downs, troughs, but you can come out of it. And so obviously I jumped at the opportunity, and so I decided to write a little book about it. Well, actually, I tell a little lie, because just to be clear, so the anthology series is, a collection of books. You have a number of authors that come together and contribute different chapters to the book, to the series. Well, I had already started to write my own book, where I've been chronicling my journey. And part of that obviously had to be about endometriosis, just a little part, mind you. And so I decided to, if you like, take that chapter and just tweak it and, edit it, make it suitable for the anthology. And yes, that's happened in the last few months. And the book is due, the anthology book, this is due to be published and launched, hopefully this summer. I will keep you posted. And of course, it's great for me because it acts as a prelude, if you like, for my book, which I am still currently working on, which will obviously go into a lot more detail, because that will be about, yours truly, and the highs, the lows, the great, the good, the ugly, the bad, the everything. Well, maybe not everything, but you'll get to, you'll get to learn a little bit more about the life of Simone, as it were. So watch out for that. So that's something else that I'm quite proud of, and I'm pleased to share with you. So I will be giving you further details anon. And also, I mentioned before, mental health is a very real thing. And so once again, I was overjoyed when my church put together an amazing training session on mental health awareness. And we were trained to become first aiders. So it was a 2-day intensive course where they taught us everything there is to know about mental health. It was run by a phenomenal trainer, a man by the name of Mark Fleming, based up in Scotland, and he's been doing mental health he's a sports, let me get this right, so it's a sports chaplaincy that he does, among other things, and has got a whole host of qualifications. Very well versed in the topic, and yes, we were very blessed to have him coach us and teach us about the fundamentals on mental health. And I just yesterday received my certificate confirming that, yes, I am now fully fledged first aider in mental health awareness. Woohoo! And unfortunately, my printer has packed up. Otherwise, I'd have printed it out and shown it to you. But hopefully, by the next time I come back on this platform, I will have something that I can show you. But no doubt, very soon I'll be sharing it on my social media channels anyway. So watch out for that. That is also another small achievement that I have managed to bring to fruition during this pandemic, and I am ever so proud of me. So as I say, yes, there will be some other content that I'll be sharing, non-endo matters, non-health related. So I've been speaking to some other people, and I've been covering some content on art, on history, and general coping mechanisms, I guess, for getting through the pandemic and things like that. So again, working on the content, polishing it up, tweaking it here and there. So do bear with me. They will be posted very soon. But as I said, this was just a quick whistle stop just to let you know I haven't forgotten you. I am very well, alive and kicking. There's just lots going on in a very, very good way. Very blessed to be involved in all of these different creative pursuits. And hang in there with whatever's going down. Today officially marked another point in us getting closer to freedom. So we hope and we pray that very soon we will be out of this general mayhem that is lockdown. It really is not a natural state, is it, for human beings? It's just not normal not to be able to socialize and to wait for permission to be told, yes, you can now hug, yes, you can now go and visit your relative. But we're getting close. The end is nigh. We are within spitting distance. And so, in the meantime, continue to look after yourselves, stay well, and I will see you very soon. God bless you.